Hello everyone, myself Ketan Bhavsar, Assistant Professor in LJ Engineering College, Ahmedabad. Today's topic VLSI design style. In previous session, we already done VLSI design style in terms of field programmable gate array and gate array design. So as we already discussed, there are four types of design style in VLSI technology. It's like FPGA, gate array design, standard cell and full custom. In previous session, we already done field programmable gate array and gate array design. Standard cell based design. Now, what is standard cell? The standard cell based design is one of the most prevalent full custom design style which required development of a full custom mask set. So for designing any full custom mask set, first of all we have to work on the standard cell based design because it is used for designing a ready-made headers and libraries. The standard cell is also called the poly cell, means you can also call poly cell as a standard cell. In this design style, all of the commonly used logic cell are developed, characterized and stored in a standard cell library. It's like a simple example, like if you are using a microcontroller like Arduino, so you find number of libraries which are available in GitHub or we can say that Instructable. So you can use ready-made header, so it reduces your time complexity, or we can say that it saves your time for developing any product or any project. So in the same way, in VLSI technology, with help of the standard cell, we developed a library, fine, in terms of hardware. A typical library may contains a few hundred cells including inverters, AND gates, NOR gates, complex AOI, OAI gate, D-latches and flip-flop. It's AND or inverter or an inverter gates, means it's a combination of AND or inverter and OR gate, AND gate and inverter. So with help of the AOI and OI, you can simplify any Boolean logic functions. Fine. So we can design a library with help of the standard cell. Each gate type can have a multiple implementation to provide adequate driving capability for different fan-outs. So each gate have a different capability to drive a circuits. Fan-out means output driving capability for the circuit. For instance, the inverter gate can have a standard size transistors, double size transistor, quadruple size transistor, so that the chip designer can choose the proper size to achieve high circuit speed and layout density. So as you already know, there are the different types of technology available when you see the fabrication of the chip. Basically in India we are focusing on the DIP chip. You use Arduino board, you already learn AVR 8MEGA32. They all are working on the DIP, means both the side you can see the pins. But you can see also there are the quad chip, means there are the four in each and every direction, you can see the pins. So it definitely a quad chip take less size as compared to the DIP, so you can simplify your size complexity if you design any compact product. And also you can work on the speed based concept. Right now if you're talking about the microcontroller, then there are the inbuilt crystal is also available that you can work with the inbuilt crystal. But if you require higher speed, then you have to connect the external crystal. But again, external crystal include or add a time complexity, or we can say that it add a size complexity. Fine. The characterization of each cell is done for several different categories. It consists of delay time versus load capacitance, circuit simulation model, timing simulation model, fold simulation model, cell data for place and route, and mask data. So these are the certain characterization for each and every cell that we have to check. It's a simulation time, circuit simulation, fold simulation, place and route mean connection, as well as placing of the component. Fine. And after that a masking of data. As you can see, this one is a standard cell design. As you can see that it's an internal part. Fine. You can see it's arranged in proper manner. It because of the standard library arrangement. In standard cell, we use a specific library, or we design a specific library with help of AND or inverter, or an inverter with help of the NAND gate, NOR gate. So you can see the placing is appropriate manner with help of, as you can see, it designed with help of the NMOS and PMOS. As you can see, the NMOS transistors are located closer to the ground, means this all are the NMOS, while the PMOS transistor are placed closer to the power rail. So as you can see, this one, all these all are the PMOS. It similarly, it look like a stick diagram for designing any Boolean function, or simplify any Boolean function. We are using NAND gate, NOR gate, and inverter. Fine. So for simple inverter design, we already done in semester 3. We have to put VCC line, PMOS. We have to put PMOS near VCC and NMOS near ground. And with help of the combination of these two, we are designing a circuit, or we can simplify any Boolean function. As you can see, this one is an internal view. As you can see, the standard cell row, routing channels, that it is useful for the connections. These all are the IO blocks for applying the input and output configuration or connectivity between input and output. These are the routing channels. Now go into the depth. It's a floor plan for standard cell based design. It's a chip level. You can see that if you work on the Xilinx software, or you see the Xilinx software, there are the number of options available like translate, mapping, place and route, and floor planning. So it look like this. You can also see this type of the design in software also, right? So when we work on the software, then I will also show you this configuration in Xilinx software. After chip logic design is done using standard cell in the library, the most challenging task is to place individual cells into the rows and interconnect them in a way that meet stringent design goals in circuit speed, chip area, and power consumption. So after designing a specific standard cell or individual standard cell, the most challenging task is that we have to place in proper manner. Fine, we have to place in each and everywhere, or we have to place in proper way. The most challenging task is that, okay, after placing, you have to see your required speed, you achieve your required speed, your chip area, and your power consumption. So these are the main challenging tasks, we can say that, after designing a standard cell, then we implement on chip. So many advanced CAD tools for place and route have been developed and used to achieve such goals. So number of tools is available, like Cadence have the tools that have ability for the place and route when we are working on the backend side, and we achieve our goals in terms of speed, area, and power consumption. See, in VLSI technology, we have a main 4 parameters, we can say that: power consumption, speed, area, and cost. Fine. Here we are focusing on the performance base, so we are considering the speed, area, and power consumption. Area is considered over here for make the chip or your product much more compact as compared to the other products. Fine. So I hope you know or you like the session about the standard cell based design, and if you have any doubt, then you can contact me. Now we move on the next topic. It's a full custom design style. So in starting of this chapter, we already studied this part, the full custom standard cell. In standard cell, we use ready-made headers, but when we are dealing with the full custom design style, we have to design each and every component step by step, or we have to design each and every component manually. You cannot use ready-made headers and libraries. So the standard cell based design is often called full custom design. In a strict sense, it is somewhat less than fully custom, since the cell are pre-designed for general use and the same cell are utilized in many different chip designs. So once you design the standard cell, then that particular cell you can use in different design style. Fine. So in standard cell, we use a ready-made headers that we already said. In a fuller custom design, The entire mask design is done anew without use of any library. So you cannot use any library or header when you use a full custom design style. However, the development cost of such a design style is became prohibitively high. Definitely, because if you design each and every component, fine, then your cost became much more larger. As you can see, suppose you have to design one simple home automation system. Now in India, what exactly we are doing? We go to the market, purchase the component, use the programming skill, interconnect the hardware with software and design a project. So you ever try to design your microcontroller at home? No. We try to design resistor or capacitor at home? No. Because it is ready-made available in the market. So we use the ready-made libraries and interconnect it and make one product or project. Fine. So full custom design is not possible because of the high cost or as well as the time consuming concept. Thus, the concept of design receives is becoming popular in order to reduce the design cycling time and development cost, as I already told you. This one is a design of full custom. It look like that this after development of any chip. It's an internal view of the chip that we can identify its number of IO blocks, memory units, CLB configuration block, and etc. The most religious full custom design can be the design of a memory cell, be it static or dynamic. Since the same layout design is replicated, there would not be any alternative to high density memory chip design. For logic chip design, a good comparisons can be achieved by using a combination of different design style on the same chip, such as a standard cell, data path cell, and PLA. So for designing or for getting the good comparison and better output, we can replace the standard cell with a PLA, PAL, and data path cell. In real full custom layout, in which the geometry, orientation, and placement of every transistor is done individually by the designer. Design productivity is usually very low, typically 10 to 20 transistors per day per designer. Definitely, if you design each and every transistor manually, so typically you can connect or you can place 10 to 20 transistor per day only. So cost will be increased or as well as your time will be increased. In digital CMOS VLSI, full custom is rarely used due to the high labor cost. So I hope you're getting the idea about full custom design. Now we make a comparison of 4 different design style that we already studied: full custom, standard cell, gate array based design, and FPGA based design. This approach is extremely low expensive when you're talking about the full custom design. It is only used to design a very high performance system, as you can see. Now we make a comparison with standard cell. This approach is reasonably fast and less expensive. So if you are talking about the expense, then definitely you have to go with the standard cell. Most ASIC are currently designed using this method because it reduces your time complexity or it reduces your designing time. So because of that reason, ASIC means application specific integrated chip. You can see your microcontroller, your microprocessor, they all are ASIC, means for designing a specific application. So we use that particular chip at a time. Gate array based design. This approach is fast and less expensive as compared to these two. ASIC performance are relatively slow. So because of the slow performance, we are not using a gate array based design. We focus on the standard cell based design and full custom. But rarely we are not using the full custom design style because of the time constraint and also for the cost. Fine. Now FPGA based design. The design process is very fast and cost effective. ASIC performance are slow. So when you're dealing with cost and when we're dealing with the response fastly, then we use a FPGA comparison to full custom standard cell and gate array based design, because it is fast as well as cost effective. But definitely when you're dealing with the ASIC, then its performance is goes to slow, but it greater than gate array and a standard cell based design. So because of that reason, we use FPGA in each and every chip or in each and every product when we're dealing with the VLSI technology. And after designing a specific product, we convert in ASIC chip for make your product much more compact and faster. So I hope you're getting idea about this 4 design style technology. It's also called as a VLSI design methodology style, ASIC design methodology style. Fine. So if you have any doubt, then you can make a contact. Fine, and you can contact me. I hope you are getting idea about this 4 design style. So thank you very much.